And I offer my obeisances unto all the devotees here. Kindly bless me so that we can discuss the topics of Bhagavad-gītā today. Hare Krishna. So I have been reading chapter 4 in Bhagavad-gītā. The title of this chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Just to looking at the summary of this chapter, so this chapter is transcendental knowledge, divya jnana. So there are 42 shlokas in this chapter, and this whole chapter can be divided into 5 parts. According to the themes, it can be divided into 5 parts. The first part, where Lord Krishna is explaining about this transcendental knowledge, divya jnana, about Krishna. So in 10 shlokas, shloka kramank 1 to 10, Krishna is explaining about the transcendental knowledge. Then from shloka kramank 11 to 15, how Krishna is the source of all path, originator of all path, and also he is the founder of varnashrama dharma. So that is explained in shloka 11 to 15. And third part is karma yoga. Fourth part is transcendental knowledge through yajna, sacrifice. So dravya yajna, jnana yajna, different kinds of yajna are explained in this part, in total shloka number 9. And the last part where we are going to discuss today is essence of transcendental knowledge, summary of transcendental knowledge. So again in 9 shlokas, Krishna is explaining what is this essence of the transcendental knowledge. So today shlok kramank 35, which is the last portion of this summary, 34 to 42, that is essence of transcendental knowledge. So we are going to read shloka number 35. Kindly recite after me. Yajñātvā na punar moham. Yajñātvā na punar moham. Evaṁ yāsyasi pāṇḍava. Evaṁ yāsyasi pāṇḍava. Yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi. Yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi. Drakṣyasy ātmany mayi. Drakṣyasy mayi. Yajñātvā na punar moham. Evaṁ yāsyasi pāṇḍava. Yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi. Drakṣyasy mayi. Yajñātvā na punar moham. Evaṁ yāsyasi pāṇḍava. Yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi. Drakṣyasy mayi. Yajñātvā na punar moham. Enam yāsyasi pāṇḍava. Yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi. Drakṣyasy mayi. Yajñātvā na punar moham. evam yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi jñātvā punar moham evam yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi jñātvā punar moham evam yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi. Vaishnavi. jñātvā punar moham evam yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi jñātvā punar moham evam yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi. Hare Krishna. Synonyms, the word to word meaning: yat, which, jñātvā, knowing, na, never, punaḥ, again, moham, to illusion, evam, like this, yāsyasi, you shall go, Pāṇḍava, O son of Pāṇḍu, yena, by which, bhūtāni, living entities, aśeṣāṇi, all, drakṣyasy, you will see, ātmani, in the Supreme Soul, atho, or in other words, mayi, in me. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul, or one who knows things as they are, is learning that all living beings are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. The sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called māyā. Ma means not, ya means this. This is not. Some think that we have nothing to do with Krishna, that Krishna is only a great historical personality, and that the Absolute is the impersonal Brahman. Factually, as it is stated in the Bhagavad-gītā, this impersonal Brahman is the personal effulgence of Krishna. Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of everything. In the Brahma-saṁhitā, it is clearly stated that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Even the millions of incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansions of Krishna. The Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that Krishna loses his own separate existence in his many expansions. This thought is material in nature. We have experience in the material world that a thing, when fragmentally distributed, loses its own original identity. But the Mayavadi philosophers fail to understand that Absolute means that 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, and that 1 minus 1 is also equal to 1. This is the case in the absolute world. For want of sufficient knowledge in the absolute science, we are now covered with illusion, Maya. And therefore we think that we are separate from Krishna. Although we are separated parts of Krishna, we are nevertheless not different from him. The bodily difference of the living entities is Maya, or not actual fact. We are all meant to satisfy Krishna. By Maya alone, Arjuna thought that the temporary bodily relationship with the kinsman was more important than his eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. The whole teaching of Bhagavad-gītā is targeted towards this end, that a living being, as Krishna's eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna. And his sense of being an identity apart from Krishna is called Maya. The living entities, as separate parts and parcels of the Supreme, have a purpose to fulfill. Having forgotten that purpose since time immemorial, they are situated in different bodies as men, animals, demigod, etc. Such bodily differences arise from forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. But when one is engaged in transcendental service through Krishna consciousness, one becomes at once liberated from this illusion. One can acquire such pure knowledge only from the bona fide spiritual master and thereby avoid the delusion that the living entity is equal to Krishna. Perfect knowledge is that Supreme Soul, Krishna, is the supreme shelter for all living entities. And giving up such shelter, the living entities are deluded by the material energy, imagining themselves to have a separate identity. Thus, under different standards of material identity, they become forgetful of Krishna. When, however, such deluded living entities become situated in Krishna consciousness, it is to be understood that they are on the path of liberation. As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavastitaha. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. Om ajnanatirandasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurum unmilitam yena tasmai Śrī Guruve namaha. Śrī Kṛṣṇa स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयतें गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणी परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. Hare Krishna. So this is chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Krishna is telling Arjuna how by this transcendental knowledge he will be relieved from all delusion, moha. So having obtained real knowledge from the self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Supreme Personality, Krishna standing in front of Arjuna, is telling that mine means I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this knowledge, the weapon of this knowledge can cut your delusion. And what is this actual transcendental knowledge? Prabhupada has very nicely explained in the purport. The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul, or one who knows things as they are, is learning that all living beings are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Evam parampara prapti imam rajarshayoidu sa kalena mahata nasta parantapa. So this chapter starts with this parampara system. The transcendental knowledge should be received from the realized soul, a guru who is in parampara. So as we know, in India, there are 4 authorized paramparas. One is Śrī Sampradaya. Other is Madhva Sampradaya, Nimbaraka Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. So these 4 sampradayas are authorized, Adhikrita Sampradaya. Anyone situated in these sampradayas will receive the knowledge which is flowing originally from Krishna. In Śrī Sampradaya, this transcendental knowledge was spoken to Goddess Lakshmi by Lord Vishnu. And from Lakshmi, the same knowledge is flown downwards in this Sampradaya, which is called as Śrī Sampradaya, starting from Lakshmi. So Ramanujacharya is the authorized guru in this Śrī Sampradaya. Similarly, Madhva Sampradaya. Madhva Sampradaya again started from Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu explained it to Brahmaji. Brahmaji spoke the same knowledge to Narad Muni. Narad Muni spoke to Vyas Maharaj, Vyasdev. And Vyasdev spoke this knowledge to Madhvacharya. So the knowledge which is coming from the Madhvacharya in the Sampradaya, it is called as Madhva Sampradaya. And this is also authorized Sampradaya in India. In Karnataka, there is a Udupi Mutt. You must have heard. This is basically the center of Madhva Sampradaya. The Udupi Krishna was established by Madhvacharya. Then Nimbaraka Sampradaya. And again Rudra Sampradaya. So like this, there are 4 sampradayas. Now ISKCON is coming into Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri, who is the guru of Ishvara Puri, took Diksha from Madhva Sampradaya. And then from Ishvara Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, took Diksha from Ishvara Puri. So the branch of this Madhva Sampradaya, Gaudiya means Gaudadesh, Calcutta. So Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And ISKCON is coming into the authorized Sampradaya. So this knowledge should be received from authorized teacher who is coming from authorized Sampradaya. And what this transcendental knowledge says is, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Brahma-saṁhitā start with this shloka. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all the Jivatmas are part and parcel of Krishna. And if anybody knows about this knowledge, then he will be coming out of delusion. He will be relieved from Maya. Otherwise, every living entity in this material world is bound by this delusion and Maya, me and mine. Look at, various birds. And insects, human beings. Everyone is thinking that I am this body and all related to me is mine. The bird in the nest, you must have seen. How much struggle, that bird undergoes to feed their children. The bird feels that this is mine. It's my house. And although it is hungry inside, it takes the food from various places and puts in the mouth of the children. This is me and mine. Similarly, in human being, a family holder, how much struggle he has to undergo to just feed their children. He thinks that this is all mine. But in fact, we all are part and parcel of that Supreme. And because of this me and mine, the intellect considers the body and worldly substances as one's own, or the truth which is considered to be painful. So everyone is struggling to satisfy his own senses, and all the people who are all concerned with this body. This is Maya. Now Arjuna on the battlefield is undergoing the same situation. He is thinking that all that opposite parties were Bhishma, Pitamaha, Dronacharya, kiths and kins. Arjuna is feeling they are more important to me than Krishna. So Krishna is saying fight, but Arjuna is saying no, I will not fight, because if I kill all these people, it will be sinful. I will have to undergo sinful reaction. So I will not fight. Well, Krishna is saying you fight, but Arjuna is saying I cannot fight. Arjuna is thinking that all this relation which is connected to this body is more important to me than Krishna. This is Maya. So that is why Krishna started this chapter, Transcendental Knowledge, just to tell through Arjuna that how we can cut this delusion of Maya by knowing Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now in the whole universe, everybody is struggling to be happy without Krishna. And in this material world, that is never possible. Prabhupada used to say, various big nations are arranging a very big conferences meeting for, creating a peace in the society. But without Krishna, how can there be peace in the society? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suradam sarva bhūtānam jñātvā mam shantim rachyati. This is the Shanti Sutra in Srimad Bhagavad-gītā. Lord has given the Shanti Sutra. But various nations come together and they spend a lot of money to discuss how to create Shanti in the society without Krishna. How it is possible? And soon after that there will be war. Soon after the conference there will be, quarrel and the wars, the killing, that's all happening. So without Krishna, there cannot be peace in the society. So similarly now, the Jivatma, forgetting Krishna, commits so many sins. But as soon as one comes in contact with the authorized guru, teacher, and when he understands through that proper channel the transcendental knowledge, he will be relieved from all the sins. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Padma Purana, it is said, Aprarabdha palam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramena eva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmana. So, kutam means desire, to commit sin. If anybody commits sin, before committing any kind of sin, there is a seed, there is a desire in the heart. First the desire comes. And that desire will be converted into seed. When the seed fructifies, he commits the papa. Whether killing somebody or stealing somebody's money, or hurting somebody, that desire first comes in the heart, and that desire is converted into seed. And when the seed fructifies, he commits that papa. And after the seed fructifies, grows into tree, then there will be fruits for that tree. That fruits are the karmic reactions. So this is a cycle. The kutam the bijam, phalonmukam, and prarabdha. So some of the fruits come very early, but some fruits come very late. So some of the reaction of the sin come very early, but some come after a long time, maybe next life, next time, next life. So it's very difficult to understand the cycle of this karmic reaction. But the moment one surrenders to Krishna and start knowing Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and start worshipping Krishna, then all this prarabdha, aprarabdha, kutam, bijam, phalonmukam, everything will be destroyed. Kramena. Gradually everything will be destroyed. So that is the importance of knowing Krishna and doing bhakti of Krishna. That's why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarva papyobhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. You just surrender unto me. I will relieve you from all the sins that you have committed so far. Ma shucha, daromat. So this is the verdict of Bhagavad-gītā. That one, when starts doing bhakti, all his karmic reaction will be burnt into ashes. So the essence of Bhagavad-gītā is transcendental knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is knowing the difference between me and the Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and all jñātvā are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. This is the transcendental knowledge. And anybody, when he understands, then he will follow the process of bhakti to attain Krishna. And that bhakti is important. Lord Brahma, in his prayers, after this Brahma Vimohana Lila, when Brahmaji came from a moha, delusion, Brahmaji wanted to test whether Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. I think you know that in Srimad Bhagavatam, you have heard this. So once Krishna was playing with all the boys, this is same in the Ajya village, where Agasur was killed. Gurukul, yeah. So Krishna was playing with all the children, and Krishna was playing with the children. Krishna is eating the remnants of the other boys. Some Gopa was, drinking buttermilk. He was filling the buttermilk in his mouth. And Krishna just splashed on his cheeks. The buttermilk started coming. And Krishna is drinking that buttermilk. Brahmaji was seeing on the top. What is this? How this person can be Supreme Person? He is eating the remnants of these Gopas. I want to test him. So this is moha, delusion. In the same way, Arjuna is put into moha. Lord Brahma was put into moha. Brahmaji was thinking that how this person can be Supreme Person. And I want to test it. So by his yogic energy, Brahmaji created Māyā. He created so many number of duplicate Gopas. Okay. He created a Maya Shakti and lifted all those boys, put it into some cave. And then he closed that cave. And he made all the boys and also calves, small calves, put into sleep. They are sleeping inside. And Brahmaji closed that cave with a stone. And then let me see how this boy is going to behave. So Krishna, when he came and he saw that all the boys and calves are stolen, nobody is there. And he is searching here and there. And Krishna is the Yogeshwara. So he came to know that this is the Brahmaji's action. Brahmaji has committed this. So Krishna expanded himself into so many boys, so many calves. And then one duplicate is sleeping in the cave, and another all set of gopas are going to their houses. Similarly, in the daily routine, they all are going to house and coming back again. And this happened almost for 1 year. Same number of gopas, same calves, and also the dress which they were wearing, the tiffin box color, everything is same. Krishna is created. And Krishna himself has expanded into so many boys and calves. Actually, Acharyas explained that all the mothers of these gopas, seeing Krishna, they had so much of love for him. They also had a desire when Krishna will come and we will be able to feed our breast milk to him. It was the desire of so many gopis. And Krishna is now fulfilling them. The moment Krishna came with the expansion to their houses, the mothers started embracing Krishna. And the milk started oozing from their chest. And Krishna drank their milk as their gopas, their own son. Similarly, Krishna also expanded into so many calves. The mother cows also had a wish that if Krishna comes as my calf, I would have fed him with sufficient milk. This is the desire of all the cows in the Vrindavan. So Krishna fulfilled their desire. He became calf and then drink the milk of the cows. The cows felt so much satisfied seeing Krishna. So Brahmaji, when after a year he saw that, his head started rotating. What is this happening? One set of gopas are inside. The another set, where this set came? And all are as usual going home and coming back. And one set is sleeping here. Then immediately Brahmaji came out of his delusion. Yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I made a big aparadha against Krishna. So he came down and he started offering very beautiful prayers. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter. Now this is the last chapter Prabhupada has written, the Purport. In 14th chapter, after that Prabhupada could not continue this. And the disciples of Prabhupada has written all the purports afterwards. So, Brahmaji, when he realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and only through bhakti, one can satisfy Krishna. So he says, very beautiful prayer. Shreyah shrutim bhakti mudashyate vibho klishyanti kevala bodhalabdhaye tesam aso kleshalaye vashishyate nanyadhyathastu latushavaghatinam. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. Just if you remove the grains of the wheat or grains of the rice and that bhusa, if you crush that bhusa, what is going to come? Nothing. So similarly, if anybody leaving the bhakti aside starts speculating, it is like crushing bhusa. That's what Lord Brahmaji's realization. Then Brahmaji sings very beautiful prayer. How fortunate these Braj Gopis, Brajangnas, who fed their milk to Krishna. Then Brahmaji says, Ahoti dhanya vrajago ramanya स्तन्यामृतं पीतमतीव ते मुदा यासां विभो वत्स परात्मरात्मरं यत्रप्तये देपि न चलं मध्वरा आहोति धन्या व्रजगोरमन्या स्तन्यामृतं पीतमतीव ते मुदा यासां विभो वत्सतरात्मरात्मजा यत्रप्तये देपि न चलं मध्वरा. Very beautiful prayer. Ahoti dhanya vrajago ramanya. How fortunate these ladies. Yasam vatsataratmaratmaja. Krishna becoming their son and son of the cows who drank milk. How much satisfied the Krishna is. The whole Vedic literature is trying to please Krishna with so many verses, but Krishna would not have been so much happy that he became drinking the milk of these Gopanganas. So this is the realization of Brahmaji. Only the process of bhakti can please Krishna. So in this section of the Bhagavad-gītā chapter 4, essence of transcendental knowledge. So this is from, as we saw in the first slide, it has got about 9 shlokas. In 9 shloka, Krishna is explaining the importance of the transcendental knowledge. So in shloka number 34, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattva darshanam. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Tattva darshinaha. They have seen the truth. The one coming from the disciplic succession, parampara, because they have seen the truth, you must receive the knowledge from them. This is the first, shloka. After that, today's shloka, jñātvā punar moham evaṁ yāsyasi pāṇḍava yena bhūtāny aśeṣāṇi drakṣyasy atho mayi. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme. Or in other words, that they are mine. When Brahmaji wanted to test and he realized that Krishna is the Supreme Person, when his moha, delusion, he came out of the delusion, then he was situated in this transcendental knowledge that Krishna is. That's why he wrote the Brahma-saṁhitā. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Then third, Krishna says, this shloka of course will come tomorrow. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendent knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So by obtaining this transcendental knowledge, one will be relieved from all the miseries. That is what is the importance of this transcendental knowledge. The next shloka number 37, as a blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to assess all the reactions to material activities. This transcendental knowledge, knowing Krishna to be the Supreme and worshipping Krishna, will burn all the sinful reactions into ashes. So in summary, Krishna says the essence of transcendental knowledge, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. So in this slok, Yashodamaya Mataji has made a very beautiful slides. In this slide, the bona fide spiritual master, you approach humbly. Approach, inquire and serve. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. approach the Guru, inquire submissively, and serve menially. As a menial servant, you serve him. Second, you will never fall again into such illusion. If you know this transcendental knowledge, you will again never fall into illusion. Third is, even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. The boat of transcendental knowledge. You will be able to cross this material ocean. Fourth is, having achieved this knowledge, you will quickly attain the supreme spiritual peace. Jñātvā māṁ śhantim rachyati. So in Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna says. Fifth is, the fire of knowledge burns to ashes all reactions to material activities. All reaction will be burnt into ashes. Sixth is, thus he is not bound by the reaction of work. One will be relieved from all the bondage just by knowing Krishna to be the Supreme Person. And that is why this is most important. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when went to South India, Yatra, he discovered two very important books. In South India, Adikeshav temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found this Brahma-saṁhitā. And he brought that Brahma-saṁhitā to Jagannath Puri. And that is now every day morning in all the temples, we are reciting this Brahma-saṁhitā. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigrahana Dhiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this is the most important to understand. All that philosophy is there in this 29-30 shlokas of Brahma-saṁhitā. Then another book, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu copied this book, onto the leaves and then brought this book. And another book that he brought was Kurma Purana. Also in South India, that Kurma Purana, these two books he brought. And also I think Bilva Mangal Thakur, Krishna Karnamrita, that also he brought from, say, in Maharashtra, that is Satara, Triveni Sangam, where Bilva Mangal Thakur was staying. These three books he bought when he went to the South India tour. So the bona fide spiritual master approach humbly, inquire submissively, and serve menially. Then the fashion of the foolish pretenders, the path of spiritual progress is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession in parampara from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. Nowadays it is fashion to start their own spiritual path. Yatha mat, tatha path. That is not true. People are just starting their own spiritual identity and they are becoming guru. But Bhagavad-gītā strictly says no. It should come from disciplic succession. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The purpose of guru is to connect the jñātvā to the Supreme Person. If he himself is not connected into the parampara, how he will connect others? So that's why the spiritual master must be from the disciplic succession, parampara. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process. Nowadays we see so many Babas, so many Gurus, they are just cropping like a crop and they are starting there, and so many people are just following. They do not have any parampara, nor do they have any wealth of the knowledge which can be given. So people are deluded. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as it is the fashion of the foolish pretenders today. Prabhupada ji writes the fashion of foolish pretenders. Then the boat of transcendental knowledge, even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. See how important this knowledge is. This knowledge is like a weapon with which we can cut this māyā and be situated in the Swarup Siddhi, or original. So again, in the Vedas also it is stated that the Lord, although one without a second, manifests himself in innumerable form. He is like a Vaidurya stone, which changes color, yet still remains one. The Vaidurya color, it changes the color, but it still, remains one. All those multi-forms are understood by the pure unalloyed devotees, but not by a simple study of the Vedas. Vedeshu durlabha adurlabham atma bhaktau. So Mayavadi sannyasi says, Krishna is expanded into so many forms, so he has lost his original form. This is what Mayavadi sannyasi. So there is no difference between Krishna and ourselves. And also, Mayavadi says, Krishna is not a supreme. He is one king. In India, there are so many sampradayas. Although they are looking to be satoguna, they are situated in satoguna, but still, they do not worship Krishna as a supreme person. There is one sampradaya, I think you know about it, I do not have to name it. They keep one lamp, Brahma Jyoti, and meditate upon that. And they say this is supreme, Nirakar, Brahma Jyoti. And this sampradaya has spread in India. But people are following. But Bhagavad-gītā is not sanctioning this. The spiritual master should be from the parampara, because the same original knowledge which has come from Krishna should percolate downwards. That's why in the beginning of this chapter, imam rajarsho vidu sa kalena mahata nasta parantapa. Krishna told the same knowledge to Vivaswan. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavaham aham avyayam. Vivaswan manave praha, manu ikshvakur abravit. So this was coming in a disciplic succession. But sa kalena mahata yoga. Over a period of time, the succession got destroyed. And that's why Krishna has come to re-establish this same knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Yashoda Maya and Shachi Mata, a Krishna conscious person knows that because he is a part and parcel of the Supreme, the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his own activity, but is only being done through him by the Supreme. The hand, we see that it is moving, but how the hand can move without body? Invisible body inside. Similarly, all activities are done by the will of Krishna. So when the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. So this is in 4.21. The movement of the hand is the endeavor of the whole body. So Krishna is the cause of everything, is the original cause of the everything. Sarva karana karanam. Again in Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 10 of Bhagavad-gītā, aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of everything, and everything emanates from me, and one who is intelligent worship me. So this is the transcendental knowledge. If he comes to know that aham sarvasya prabho, Krishna is the source of everything, then he will definitely worship. But to come to this platform of knowing Krishna to be supreme, it takes so many lives. It's not that easy. Though it is very easy to understand. But to come to that platform, we don't know how many lives we have spent. Bahunam janmanam ante jñātvā mama prapadyante vāsudevam sahamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Durlabha, sa mahatma. See, this is what Krishna says. He is a mahatma who understands this knowledge and comes to worship me. He is a mahatma. And durlabha, so many lives, after so many lives, because we are all deluded by this maya and we all being away from Krishna. So in Padma Purana it is explained there are 8.4 million jivarasis. So this shloka, Jalaja Navalakshani, all that animals, that reptiles who are staying in water, there are 9 lakh different bodies staying in water. Stavara Laksha Vimshati. Laksha Vimshati means 20 lakh. There are 20 lakh. Stavara means immobile plants and trees. 20 lakhs. Krimayo Rudra Sankhyakhya. Krimayo means reptile who are walking with their bodies touching the ground, like snakes, crocodile, frogs. These are the reptiles. How many? Rudra means 11. There are 11 Rudra. So 11 lakhs. Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. Pakshi means birds who are flying in the sky. How many? Dashalakshana. 10 lakhs pakshis are there, different bodies. Trinshalakshani Pashuva. Trins means 3. Laksha means 30 lakhs. Pashava means terrestrial animal. Like bagh, lion, tiger. Non-vegetarian eating. Pashava. 30 lakhs. Manava, human-like animals, including human species, there are 4 lakhs. Chatur Lakshani Manava. 4 lakhs of different human bodies. In this, human-like animals are also considered, like yati, bandar, So these are human-like. There are 4 lakh. So out of all these, humans are very less in number. You see, there are only 4 lakh. But Pashuva are 30 lakhs. Trees are how many? Stavar is 20 lakhs. Manava is very small. Again, in all that 4 lakhs, one who comes to this knowledge are very few. Only 1 or 2%. Even less than that. How many devotees are there? Very less person out of 4 lakh species. That's why Krishna says, Bahunam janmanam ante jñātvā mama prapadyante. Sachinand Swami Maharaj once giving lecture, he was saying, why person do not come to Krishna? He was saying it is because of the sin. The sin stands as a wall between the Jivatma and Krishna. It does not allow us to come to Krishna. That's why Krishna, etu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. If that sin wall, when it is destroyed, then only one will be able to see Krishna and come to Krishna or come to the association of devotees. It takes so much of time to come to how important it is. So this is the transcendental knowledge. It is so important to understand, and once, by the association of the devotees of the Lord who are situated in the parampara, anybody who is fortunate come in contact with him and understand this supreme knowledge, and then he will be relieved from all the bondage then all his karmic reaction will be burnt into ashes, and he will not again fall into delusion again. This is what Krishna is saying in this shloka today. And transcendental knowledge is very, very important, this chapter in Bhagavad-gītā. The first part of the Bhagavad-gītā, transcendental knowledge is very important. When Arjuna comes to this situation, slowly his delusion started fading away. And then he says, okay, I will fight now. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Time is over. If you have any question or comment, just 1 minute. Okay. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, सब भक्तों की जय।